Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and today we're going to have a look at a puzzle by Willy Wonka, which has been receiving amazing plaudits as ever it seems from Willy Wonka recently over on Logic Masters Germany. So I'll read the rules in a second. It's quite an interesting and innovative rule set today. I've certainly not seen a puzzle with a similar set of rules before. But we've got some exciting news about next month's Patreon reward puzzle. Or puzzles, I should say. We are planning to release a puzzle hunt, which actually also features a bit of Sudoku, by Scott Strossal. And I have to say, I've tested this the last couple of days. It is really an amazing piece of work. It is stunning. The whole setup, it's based around sort of piracy, and this is pirates back in the sort of 1600s, not computer piracy, but pirates on the high seas, and it's so good. It's so good. So look out for that. That will be published on the 1st of October, and yeah, it should be very, very enjoyable. Now let me read you the rules of Willy Wonka's puzzle. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Outside clues indicate the sum of digits in snakes of length x, where x is the first digit in the row or column. Snakes begin at the cell directly next to a clue and are one cell wide regions where digits cannot repeat. A snake cannot touch itself orthogonally and cannot branch in two directions. No cell can be part of more than one snake. Wow. Now, luckily, Willy Wonka did provide us with a picture, so I've sort of clipped it so we can have a look at it and learn about what he thinks these snakes are doing. So we've got valid snakes on the right and invalid snakes on the left. So the valid snakes, I can sort of see how they're working. So 3 in the first cell means that the snake must be of length 3, and you can see that 7, 5 and 3 add to 15. That makes sense. A 5-cell snake here, yeah, they add to 25. So I sort of see them. Now these 3 on the left don't work. So the 10 clue doesn't work because the snake does not start. Oh, I see. It doesn't start in the first cell next to the clue. Okay. Well, the 21 I can see doesn't work because it's not a one cell wide snake. Yeah. Okay. It's like a pentomino, a P pentomino. That's certainly not one cell wide. And the 30 clue, the snake length, oh, it's not given by the first cell. Okay, yeah, because if this is a 6 and it's a 4-cell snake, that's just against the rules. Okay, so that's what we've got to work with today. As I say, it's getting hugely good reviews, so definitely worth a try. Probably quite tricky, 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty. The way to play is to click the link under the video, and with that, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Right, let's get cracking. So this... we've got a 3 clue here, so that's got to be a 2, hasn't it? Because if we make that a 1, that's implying that 1 is equal to 3, which it isn't. So I think this has to be a 2, and there's a 1, so it's a 2-cell snake, and there's a 1 in one of those 3 cells, which isn't actually very useful. Maybe I'll put the options in for the start position. So 11 could be a 2-cell snake, or a 3-cell snake, or a 4-cell snake. 20 could be a 3, 4, or 5. It can't be 6 because that would be the minimum you can make 6 cells add up to is 21 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 10, that could be 2, 3, or 4. 30 could be... no, it can't be 4, interestingly, because the only way of getting to 30 in 4 cells with different digits is with 9, 8, 7, and 6. And 4 is none of those, so 5 will work, 6 will work. 7 could work, actually. Yeah, because you're missing 15 of the maximum total. So obviously if you add up 9 different digits in a Sudoku, you're going to add up the different digits from 1 to 9. If you do that, you get 45. So if we know, or if we're thinking about a 7-cell snake, that must be missing exactly 2 of the digits from 1 to 9, and those 2 digits have to add up to the difference between 45 and 30, which is 15. So 7 I think is possible if the snake is missing a 6 and a 9 exactly. Okay, so that's 15. 15 can't be 2, could be 3, could be 4, could be 5. 12. 12 can't be 2, that can be 3, 4. 12 can't be 5 because the minimum you can make 5 cells add up to is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Aha, there we go. There's a start I could have got if I'd looked at this box straight away. 3, 4 pair there. Let's just continue this though and make sure that we finish it off. 9 can't be 4, so it must be 2 or 3. 22. 22 can't be 3. And that could be 6 this time because 22 is higher than the minimum of 21. Ah, no, it can't be. No, it can't be. Because the only way of making 22 in 6 cells is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7, which doesn't have a 6 in it. So that's interesting. This is only 4 or 5. Okay, now let's come back over here then. Look at this 12s, these 12s. What are they telling us? So, actually, I know what I should do. I should probably colour these in because otherwise I'm going to get them mixed up. So I'm going to do that. Let's make that one blue and that one red. And we'll make that one purple, that one grey, that one, I don't know, grey again. Hopefully these two can't connect to each other. So 30, it's not 34, it's snakes, right, okay, so if I can see something here, which is that if these snakes stay entirely within this box, the box is broken, because 7 of the cells in the box would then add up to 12 plus 12, which is 24, which means the other 2 cells would have to add up to 21 to get to 45, which is clearly absolute nonsense. So, now this is fascinating. Okay. Look at where Willy Wonka has positioned these snakes. Because we've just worked out that at least one of these snakes has to escape from this box. But actually, it's only going to be the one that's the four length snake that can escape. Because, for example, if this one tries to escape, its closest exit is here because this cell isn't available. This cell isn't available to this snake. So the 4 cell snake is the one that escapes. And it's either going to... Oh, okay. So how do we do that? I'm just thinking about whether this one can be a 4-cell snake, therefore. If it's a 4-cell snake, it either has to get to this cell or to this cell. They're the only 2 cells that are within 4 cells of it. Well, if it tries to get that one, this 12 clue is now impossible, because we can't use those 3 cells, because that's not starting the snake in this position. Now, if it tries to take this one, doesn't it... If it did that, no, the 15 is broken. The 15 cannot be a 2-cell region. So this is not 4, this is 3, that's 4. And for the same reason, this 4 can't get this square. That would bound the 15 and the 3 in a way that's unpleasant. So this square must be the cell that's outside. We get that one. To make 12 in 4 cells, when you've got a 4 as part of the sum, you've got to have 1, 2 and 5 with it. So 1, 2, 5 into those squares. And this one has to take this square, because it can't go this way, it's of length 3. So it's either going to go there and come down and hit this square, or down and now go there and hit this square. So this square is red, but I think it's got a few options, because... well, actually it's not got that many options. Obviously it's part of a domino that adds up to 9 that can't use 4, 5 or 3, 6. So it's either 1, 8 or 2, 7. Right, okay, which means that there's either a 1 or a 2 in the red region, which means that this 12 snake here, however this moves, it's definitely got a 1 and a 2 in it. So this square must be a 1 or a 2, because we know that 1 or 2 is being used by this snake. So, now look, we can get rid of 3 actually from those 2 cells. And 4 from this one. So, 5 from that one. So, this square, obviously this square is not part of any snake, so I'm going to make that green. This one could be part of either snake. This one could be part of the blue snake. That could be part of the red snake. This one could be part of this snake. I was thinking maybe that one would be green, because the cells that are not in the snake in this region have to be large, because the cell outside the box is at such a low number. So if this was a 1, those would add to 11, this would add to 12. 11 and 12 is 23, so the other 3 cells would add up to 22. So they have to add up to 22 or more. Okay. And this 4-5 pair is interesting because one of these has to be a 5. And to make 15 in 5 cells, there's only one way. It's going to have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's going to constrain the other one. So if we make one of these a 5, I just want to think about this for a second. If this is a 5, and it's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is 4, okay, well, there's something going on, because we can't put many high numbers in these snakes. We can put 1 high number, in fact. This one can have no high numbers. It can't have 6, 7, or 8, or 9 in it. This one could, well, it couldn't have 9, but it could have 6, 7, and 8, but it can only have 1 of them. Because if you, for example, if we go 4 and 6, we obviously can't have 7 as well. So where do the digits 6, 7, 8, 9 go in this box? The answer is I haven't got a clue. But I do know that 3 of them are not in the snakes, because a maximum of 1 of them can be. Right, this is very interesting indeed. So now we have to remember that this isn't necessarily the order here. But now we're learning that in this box, 6 cells exactly are used by the snake sections. And again, look at the positions. We can't get these snakes out before they've taken their 3 cells. Because this one can't come to this square, because this is part of another region. In fact, let me label that up. So this... So there are exactly 3... Sorry, I'm being a bit slow here, I know. But if there are 6 cells on the snake in this region, and there are 9 cells altogether, there are 3 cells that are not on the snake, that have to be positioned somehow around this box. They can't be in this square, because that will mean the snake is branching. So what does all that mean? That's the question. What does it mean? So I'd rather as well not make any sort of guesses based off the digits in here, because I don't know which way round this goes. But this top one feels more constrained, because it's going to have to come to this square, Oh, I've made them the same colour now. I didn't mean to do that. This one has to come to this square. It's only allowed to take 3 squares in this region, so it's got to take this square. Now, whether it's 4 or 5, it's got to either go here or here for its next digit. Ah, now that's interesting. That is, hang on. Hang on a minute. We know that the digits on the snake in this box are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and one other. And we know that because we're only allowed to include one high digit in these totals. And the other 3 are going to have spaces elsewhere. Now, if that's true, and it is true, that means the cells that are on the snake but are not in this box are all low digits. Oh, this is beautiful. So what? I don't think this square can be in this region, because if it is, it's got to be a low digit. And it can't be. It can't be. Because we know that the 5 in this region is definitely on the blue snake. So it can't be here. Therefore, this has to be at least equal to 6, but it can't be equal to 6 because the high digit that is in the snake is in this region. It is not outside this region. So this square is not in the snake. So this square is in the snake. Good grief. Okay, right. So now I'm interested in this square. Because whether this is a 4 or a 5, this square is a low digit. Yeah, if this is a 4, you can't make this a 5 either. That's interesting. Because 4 and 5 mean those 2 squares have to add up to 6, which is no longer possible. So if this is 4, you've got to put a digit lower than 5 in this. In fact, it's got to be lower than 4. So this would have to be 1, 2 or 3. If this is 5, we know we can't. Oh, if this is 5, it gets even more peculiar. If this is 5. Oh my goodness me. What is, yeah, if this is 5, what are the options for this digit? And I don't think this can be 5 because we need to put it, if it's 5, we need to put a 2 into this shape. Hang on, I'm getting confused. I think there's something about this shape. But if this is 5, you can see that 2 now in this region, the purple region, can't go here. So it would have to go in one of those 2 squares, and it can't because look down this column. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 triple. So I can't have another 2 in the column. Impossible. My goodness me. This is incredibly intricate. So in fact, is this just proving this is not 5? I think it is. That is just not 5. That is 4. This is 5. So this square here has to be 1 or 3 now, because we know it's outside the region, and it has to be a low digit. Can't be a 5. So now we've got a 1, 2, 3 triple at the top of this column, which makes that square a 4. That's not 4, that's not 4. And we can't use 2 in the sum. Oh, if we can't use 2, those squares, how do we make this domino add up to the balance here? So if this is 1 and 4, we need those two to add up to 10 without using 1, 2 or 4, so they're 3 and 7. If this is 3 on the other hand, we need these two to add up to 8 without using 3 or 2. So they have to be 1 and 7. So this is a 1, 3, 7 triple. Wow, okay. Gosh, this is taking me a long time. I'm sorry about that, but I'm finding this quite... Well, I'm finding it fascinating, but not simple. So now this one has to get out. And it has to be... It has to instantly get out. So it can't... Ah, okay. So can this snake come out this way? Well, no, because this square is not fillable. This square would have no option because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So this must come out here. This is a grey cell, which means that must be in the snake. This can't be a 4. In fact, 4 is a bit restricted. It's got to be one of those. In fact, hang about. Well, I've got to put a 4 on this shape. Have I broken it? No. Oh no, I haven't. Right, but it is a good question. Where is the 4 that must appear in this region? We know it's got to, as well as the 5, it's got to have the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, you can see neither of these squares can be a 4. In fact, nothing in this box could be a 4 because the 4's already gone. Now there's only one more cell. Once the snake is on its 4th cell by the time it gets here, so that this is the only possibility for it to pick up a 4, and thank goodness it can be a 4. So that means these squares are 1, 2, and 3. And this 30 now has got to drop down to there, look. And it's either 6 or 7. And this is a different colour. And this is a different colour again. Let's do some colouring now, just to have a break from impossible logic. Right, okay. Now, let's get back to it. What are we doing next? We have got the rough pattern of the 15s. Oh, my phone. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I normally turn my phone off, but it was, or at least silence it, but as you heard, it was loud. Now, let's get back. What were we thinking about? I was thinking about... Oh, I was just doing my colouring in. Right. This 10 clue is a 4-cell 10 clue, so it's got the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in it. So it can't come up this column because we've got the 1, 2, 3 triple there. Now, can it come into this box? Oh, no it can't because of the 30 clue. The 30 clue is at least 6 cells large. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So it has to pick up this square. Remember, the 30 clue can't come this way or it would branch. So this square is blue. So if this... Right, this is interesting. If this does turn left and come in here, it would have to take all 3 cells because it can't branch, and therefore it would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, which would mean that square is impossible. So I don't think that this 10 clue turns left, and it can't go upwards, so it must turn right. So those 2 squares must be part of the 10 clue. 2, 3. Ah, now this square's interesting now, because the fourth cell of this 10 snake is going to complete a 1, 2, 3 triple in this box. So that can't also be a 3. That's a 5. Now 2, 3 pair in that row. Now I think I need to still look down here, I feel. I've been making decent progress. I just need to try and work out how to continue to make that progress. There's got to be a 5 in one of those squares. Sorry about this. I'm stuck a bit now. So label these up. They've got to be 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 because of we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in the column. That can't be 5. So this is 6 or 7. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is there something we can do to limit the options of this one? Ah, maybe I can. So if this is 7, there are broadly 2 configurations for how this snake looks. It either drops down, turns there and pokes its head out there, that would be one option. But that doesn't work because now I can't. Yeah, this might be profitable. Okay, let's look at that option. It's doing that. Now we know that if this is a 7 clue, it's missing a 6 and a 9 because it's got to miss these 2 cells that add to 15, and it's got a 7 in it, so it must have 7 and 8 in the snake. So there is no 6 and 9 in the snake, and therefore where do we put 6 and 9 in box 7? There's nowhere for them to go. So if this is 7, it can't drop to the bottom row. It must come out this way. We don't actually know what it then... But if it comes out this way, like this, it's used a 5 on its path and it's used a 7 on its path. So 5 and 7 would not be available for these 2 squares. Now I can put an 8 in one of these 2 squares, but the other one will have to be a 6 or a 9, which breaks the rules of this 7-length snake, which mustn't have a 6 or a 9 on it. So I don't think this can be a 7. I think that has to be a 6. So that's not a 6. Now, that must be more useful than just that, surely. What's that doing? So now, it's either coming straight across and doing that, or it's dipping down and doing that. Now, can we tell which of those is its next move? Again, I'm so sorry if you're spotting this more quickly than I am. I'm sure that there are lots of you out there that are. So if this is a 6-cell snake, one thing I've just noticed is it can't have a 4 on it, because however I draw this snake, it never hits a 4. So there's 4 missing. Now we'd need to get to 15 that's missing, 45 minus 30. So if there's no 4 in the snake, the other 2 cells that are missing must add up to 11. Which means that there is a 1 on the snake. Maybe that's important. Is there a way somehow that I can... If there's a 1 on... Because the 1 can't be there, so the 1 on the snake must be in box 7, so this square can't be a 1. Is there a way of limiting what this square can be? Aha! Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Because there must be, if we look at this snake, there must be a 1 or a 3 in one of those 2 cells. Therefore, this cell has got to be a 1 or a 3. Because we need a 1 or a 3 on this snake, and it's not appeared yet. So this square, once we eliminate 1 because of the snake logic with the 30, this square has to be a 3. Which means there's now a 1-2 pair in this box on this 15 snake, which means we get the rest of this box, and we're starting to get somewhere. 1-2 pair, so this must be a 3, this must be a 1, this must be a 2, this must be a 3. This is not 2 anymore. There's a 1-5 pair in this box on this 12 snake. This is a 3 clue, so it must come out this way. Oh dear. Oh dear. So this is... This is a 3-cell snake adding to 10, so we need 2 more cells to add to 7 that can't be 3, 4 or 2, 5. So this square's got to be a 1 or a 6, and it's going to have a 1 or a 6 in one of those 2 cells. Which of course is useless. Ah. So that can't be 7, look. Oh, and that because we know there's a 1-5 pair on this 12 snake, this can't be a 1. Oh, that's got to be a 2, look, because I've got a 3 here. I didn't see that. So now there's a 2 in one of those 3 cells. Ah, now in fact, also we can go further. This 12 snake can't be 1-8 anymore as the balance, because the 1 is being taken by this other snake. So this has to be a 2, doesn't it? Oh, this is beautiful. So now I can finish the snake. It needs a 7, and the 7 can't go there. So that's a 7. Sorry, that was all a bit tortured, but at least I got it done. So this can't be a 7 now. Okay, does this help? It's all getting quite interesting down here, isn't it? In fact, that 2 gives me a 1 there. And, this is good. So this 15 snake needs a 2 on it, so it must go there. And that's grey. So in this column, we still need 1, 8, and 9. That can't be 1 because there's a 1 in one of these 2 1-5 pair in either there or there for the 12 snake up there. So there's a 1 down here, which we always knew, because we knew that we worked out right back at this sort of the start of this logical piece we've been doing that this 30 clue needs a 1 on it. Ah, that's interesting, look. So now there can't be a 3. This 3 is grey, so there can't be a 3 in the 30 clue, and there can't be a 4 in the 30 clue. Neither of those two can be 3 or 4. So in fact, the 30 clue does not have 4, 3 and 8 on it, so that's not in. So it doesn't have 4, 3 and 8 on it, so it must have 5 on it. So, but we don't yet know whether this 5 is here or here. It would be much more helpful if it was here, because then I would know the shape of my 30 snake. 6, 8, 9 there. I'm abandoning this. It's just, I can't quite work it out. 1 must be in one of those two cells. Okay. What now? I need to know the shape of this snake, I should say. So if it dips down and if it dips down, it would have to do that, and that would plonk an 8 into this square. I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, though. That would put an 8 up here, an 8 in one of those. That all looks plausible to me. So maybe I've got to use something else. I've now got a 2 in here, so this must need a 7 alongside it. I just think there are still a few places that 7 could go. No, this is not going very well. Oh, Simon. What is it I'm missing here? 5, 6, 8, 9. So we know the cells missing from the snakes in this are 6, 8 and 9. But we don't really know enough about 6s, 8s and 9s to know where they go, which is very frustrating. Is there a way of telling how this snake moves? If this was 1, 5 here, it would have to have a 5 here and a 1 here. That would put a 4 here. That would put a 5 here, so we get 5s here and here. Is there anything wrong with that? I don't think so. Two, look. 2, maybe we should do Sudoku. Oh, we should do Sudoku. Oh dear. So sorry. Look, never forget Sudoku. There is a 2-7 pair there, which means that, oh, this is perfect. That puts the 5 here. Why does this matter? Well, once this is a 2-7 pair, well, the main reason it matters, it matters in every way possible, actually. This completely breaks the puzzle open, because now this square can't be a 5 or a 1. So this square must be the last snake piece in box 1. This is a 1-5 pair. This must be, in fact, both of those squares must be 6, 8 and 9. So that's one of the things it means. But more important, I think, is this 30 clue has to have a 5 in it. Oh, could it get a 5 from here? No. This is beautiful. So if the 30 clue does drop down to the bottom row, it would take those 6 cells and wouldn't include a 5. So it must take this one. This must be blue, and therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, it must take those ones as well. There's no 5 in here. And there's no 6 in here either, because we've already got the 6 there. And we know there's no, look at this, we know there's no 8 in the blue region because it's missing 3, 4 and 8. So that gives us a 7, 9 pair here. Which means that square must be 2, not to repeat a digit in the cage. This square must be 1. This must be 7, this must be 8 or 9. Now, what next? 1, 5. We've got to... I feel that was a real breakthrough, and I've just ground to a halt again. The logic in this is quite fascinating, but it's not straightforward. 5. That square's got to be a 3, look, by Sudoku. So let's get back to doing some Sudoku. Right, this is important, yeah. This 10 cage needs a 1 and a 2 as its a 1 or a 2 as its 4th cell. Well, it can't get it from there because of the 1, 2 there. So this forms a 1, 2 pair. That disambiguates this 6, look. That's got to be a 6. And we need a 1 to complete this 10 cage, and it can't be here now. So we do get a bit more progress. This is 1, this is 1, this is 5. 1 must live in one of those 3 cells. This is red. These squares here have got to be 6 and 8, but we don't know whether they're part of this 20 cage in 5 cells yet. That's not 6. Oh no, I mis-scanned that. I thought I would be able to get one of those digits, but I can't. 7 must live in one of those cells. These are 7, 8 and 9 to complete the top row. Which is important, look, because that means there's a 7 in one of those 2 squares, and this 9 is a 2-cell clue that needs a 7 in it. It's got to be 2 7s, so it can't take that 7 because that would not be a snake. So it must take this one. That's a snake. Let's colour it in. This is not a 7 at all. So we've now actually done a lot of the snakes. I've done... This 6 gives me the 6 and 8 there. Let's pick up that as well. Must be a 6 in one of those 2 cells. I've actually done quite a lot. I haven't finished off this snake, which can't have a 1 there, look. I've not done this 22. I've not done the 11, I've not done the 20. Oh, boom, that's a naked single. Yes, it is. Look, if you look at the options for this square, you can see if we look at the row, we're missing 5, 6, 8 and 9. Well, there's 5, 6 and 8 for you, so that's got to be a 9. Two's got to go there by Sudoku. So this column still needs 3, 4 and 7. 3's there. That's got to be 3. This has got to be 4 and 7, which we can do. So that was some good progress, but still it's not rolling the puzzle over for us. 5, 6 and 8 into those squares. That's not 6. So that's a 5, 8, 9 triple now, look. So that must be a 4, 7 pair. Maybe we're starting to just find the secrets now. What a puzzle this is. What a puzzle. That's not 2, look. So maybe this row, we've not put 4, 7, 8 and 9 in. That can't be 7. Or maybe this clue. We've got to make a 5 cell 20 clue. Oh, sorry, that's my virus software saying, do I want to upgrade? Okay, well look, if this goes vertically, it can't take that square, because those 3 squares together would add to 19, and there's still 2 more cells that I would have to add to 1. So if it takes this square, it must take this square. Oh, yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So let's look at that. If it did take this square and then this square, what would the options be for this square? Well, we can't make it too large, otherwise we can't get to 20 in 5 cells. So we can't even put a 7 in here, because that would mean the other 2 cells would have to both be 1. So the only option for this square would be 4. And now look, we've got 6, 5 and 4, which add to 15. So the other 2 cells, we're not repeating a digit, remember, have to be 2 and 3. But look, there's a 2, 3 here and a 2, 3 in this row. So we couldn't, there's nowhere to hide the 2 and the 3 we need. We can put one of them here, but wherever the the 5th cell goes, whether it goes here or here, it breaks. Now that must be deliberate. That must be deliberate. So this, well, what we get from that is that this comes this way, and then must turn upwards, which admittedly is not a great deal. So what are the options for this square then? This is 1, 2, 3 or 6, I think. Oh, we get the same problem with this 6 if we make this a 6. If we make that a 6, the logic is exactly the same. You've got to put a 4 there, and then you can't hide the 2 and the 3. So this is not 6. This must be 6. There must be a 3 in one of those 2 cells. So maybe now the 11 clue. Yes, the 11 clue is fixed, because it can't now be a 3-cell clue. Because if it is, it either has to take the 6, and then the other digit is a 2, which it can't get to. The 2 would be there. Or it's got to come up here, it's 3, and then it can't be 8 because it needs another cell as well. If it's 3, it would have to have 4 here, and then you'd have to have another 4 to get to 11. That repeats the 4. So this is a 2, it needs a 9. Well, the only place it can get it from is there. So let's give it a 9 and carry on. That 9, look, gives me a 9, 7 over there. So that's 7. This 2 gives me the 2 and the 1 over here, which makes this a 3. This turns blue, obviously it's part of this snake. So now we've got 8 here. What are the options along there? We need 1, 5 and 7. That can't be 7. So, okay, so we can see this can't be 8, because if it is 8, we've already got 16. We'd need 1 and 3 to complete the quintuple, and that would repeat the 3 in the quintuple. So this has to be 4. This has to be 8. That gives me a 9 up here, gives me an 8 here, 9 here, 8 here. Is that huge? It's it's useful, but it's not cracked this now. So this square now must be snake, because we can't come back on ourselves. Therefore it can't be a 5. We've already got 12. We need 8 more. So this has to be a 1-7 to complete this. But it could have 7. Could put a 7 there and a 1 there, or a 7 here and a 1 here. No. Okay, is that really possible? I'm sure I'm missing something there. That doesn't seem likely that at this stage of the solve there would still be... Don't believe it. Can't be a 2. 9's got to be in one of those cells. Oh, 9, that's interesting. 9, that's a 6, 8, 9 triple, so 9 can't be there. So 9 must be here. Oh! Well, if 9's here, that can't be a 1 or a 7. So this must bend round here, look. Oh, thank goodness for that. So now we need 1 and 7, so the only place we can get a 7 from is there. That gives us a few more digits. Gives me a 4 there, look. So that's the last snake. Oh no, still not finished this snake. What a puzzle this is. My goodness, it's going to take me an hour, isn't it? I'm not sure. I was very slow down there with the spotting the 2s, but apart from that, I didn't feel like I've been that slow. Must be my old age. 5. So we've done this clue. We haven't... maybe we can do... Yeah, maybe we can do some maths on this 22 clue. If it's a 4 clue, if it stays within the box, we'd have 22 plus another 18. That's 40. So the other 2 cells would have to be 2 and 3. No, we can't. There's nowhere for a 2. It's not possible. It's not possible for this to stay in the box. It can't. So this has got to come out of the box. So it's either got to take that cell or that cell, but they're the only options available for a 4-cell snake. But I don't think I know which one of those it is. There's got to be a 3 in one of those cells. A 3 in one of these cells. This column, we still need to place 1, 7, and 3 into. So that's a 7. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. This is a 1-3 pair. The 7 helps me with the 7 and the 4, which I'll certainly take with. That gives me a 4. That gives me a 4 here, does it? Well, if that's a 4 there, that means this square is a 3 from my pencil marks, which gives me a 1 here, which completes this snake. That pushes this snake up here. It still doesn't tell me which way it goes, but at least it gives me a little bit more traction in this part of the grid. This must be a 1 by Sudoku. So this is a 5, 6, or 8. This is amazing. This is still holding up, isn't it? So I think it's all going to come down to this clue. That's got to be a 3 now, actually. That can't be a 1. So perhaps... What are the options for this square? 5, 6, or 8. So let's look at this. This has got to be a 4-cell cage. So if it comes downwards, it's going to have 7 in it and needs it needs another 15, and it can't get 15 from these options. So it doesn't take this cell. It must come across, I think, and pick up that cell, which gives us 11 which means these have to add up to 11 to get to 22. 3, 8 isn't possible, so I think this has to be a 5, 6 pair. Which means that square's a 9, that's a 6, that's a 6, that's an... Oh yeah, this is good, isn't it? Keep going, keep going. 9, 8, 6, 5, 5, 6, 8, 6, and 8. Yes! My goodness me. Oh, what a puzzle that is. That is so hard. That was so difficult. But brilliant. I mean, and absolutely sort of, again, one of these linear paths that you had to follow. I don't think there was another way around that. I just think you could have done it more efficiently. Let me know how you got on, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.